G'day, Steve Morgan from Fishing Monthly Magazine's here at Viking Kayaks, and I'm here to catch up with Jason Milne. He's the man in charge of Viking over here, and he can tell you why you need a Viking kayak for your next fishing adventure.
Viking kayaks have been made here in Australia for 17 years and over in New Zealand for about 15 years. We've got some models in from New Zealand now out of our company over there, both available at our Sunshine Coast store and our Brisbane store and through our dealer network. Well, with a lot of the imports you need to do that because they'll deteriorate in the sun, whereas ours you'll see people on the canals all around the Sunshine Coast, all around Australia, leaving these things out in the sun. As long as the kayak can breathe, they're leaving a bung or a hatch open, then they'll be fine. They'll be fine in the sun. It's designed to handle that. Well, I guess it starts at the core. The guys who built the kayaks, they're all fishermen, so they're made by anglers for anglers, and that's reflected in a lot of the new designs. So the ProFish range now is set up for anglers to have everything they need where they need it. We have brass inserts on the kayaks so you can plug and play, just add your accessories as you need them, and there's some really ingenious systems with the tackle pod and the chill pod which we'll go through, and they're changing the game for anglers. That's why they're choosing Viking kayaks. The modular tackle pod, or the load and go system, came about from many hours of guys having to set up at the launch spot, mucking around trying to set their kayaks up and wanting a faster way to do it. So now having a pod where you can load your tackle, pre-rig your sounder, get your sounder GPS coordinates all done the night before, fill up your chill pod with your ice and your bait, and literally get to the location, load your kayak, and you're gone. That was the concept. Okay. The tackle pod is probably the most ingenious of all the pods that we've got. It's a central mounted pod. You've got your sounder, you've got your transducer and your battery all mounted into one pod which can be removed. It means your sounder's in the water, it's getting 100% true reading, and your battery is contained inside the pod, and inside that pod you can load all your tackle, and that can just literally lift out, throw in the back of the car and move it in. You can take it if you've got a ProFish Reload or a ProFish GT, you can take the one pod and move it between the two kayaks. Then we've got the storage system at the back for your fish storage system, which is the chill pod, and that's an insulated pod that plugs into the back of the kayak, and you can load ice and throw your bait and your tackle and even camping gear into the back of this large sealed pod. Then we have the kid pod. The kid pod drops in and replaces the tackle pod, and that's for people that have got young kids, or they've got a family and they want to take them out with them on the kayak. You take the tackle pod out and you drop the kid pod in, and it creates a flat surface. It also means anglers that want to stand up create a flatter area in the middle of the kayak where they can stand up and cast. Oh, absolutely. You've done your rigging largely the night before. You can have all your tackle sorted, all your trace sorted already in the tackle pod, so when you get to your destination you drop your pod in, you drop your chill pod in, and you're gone, you're out on the water. And then in reverse, when you're unloading and loading the kayak back on the roof of the car, you've lessened the weight of the kayak because you've then just got the hull weight, you've got all the gear out of it. Well, it means you're getting your true 100% reading with your sounder. Your transducer's in the water, it's easy to install yourself. Comes with a fish finder attachment kit which you plug and play, and your sounder's protected. It's nice and tucked up under the kayak and protected. The good thing with the Viking kayaks is you can start basic or you can start already rigged. A lot of our kayaks come standard ready to go because we're anglers, we know what we think you need mostly, so you don't really need to add much to them. If you want to buy basic and rig your own kayak, you can do that too. We can custom make them, all made here in Australia, so we can custom make the kayak for you and you can add it as you need it. You'd have to be the ProFish Reload. Starting there, that's the Ferrari of fishing kayaks. It's a 4.5 metre kayak designed to go offshore as far as you want to go, but also good in the rivers and the creeks. Then you come down to the ProFish 400, and that's a good all-rounder. That's a really versatile all-rounder, 4 metres long. And then you step down to the ProFish GT, which is a more compact version of the ProFish Reload. Really ideal for those people that want tight water access, and also great as a mothership kayak, so you can throw the kayak on the boat, head out to a reef, jump in your kayak and go and stealth fish. We've got kayaks that start at $5.99, and you can start out really basic or you go right up to $2,500. You head over to vikingkayaks.com.au and you'll see all the information, you'll see a list of the products and all the dealers, so you can find a dealer near you.
Can I find some information on Facebook? Do you have a Facebook page?
Absolutely, you can find us on Facebook, we're Viking Kayaks Australia. You can find us on YouTube, we're Viking Kayaks, and you can find us on Instagram as well, Viking Kayaks.
Steve Morgan for Fishing Monthly magazines, and I'm here at Viking Kayaks catching up with Jason Milne about why you should need a Viking kayak for your next fishing adventure.